Welcome everyone. Hi. So I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, wait for everybody to get on. But just want to say hi. And yes, I still have a cold, and I don't know how, but it has somehow gotten worse. I mean, not worse. I just woke up more bleh, like more phlegmy and everything. So I went out for a couple errands. I had to go drop stuff off at the post office because I don't like leaving packages at my mailbox. And then I also, what else did I do? Oh, I went to Costco and picked up some things and renewed my crazy membership I have with them because it's only January and I've already spent enough to get cool rebates and stuff. So I'm okay with that. They can give me money. I like money. I'm going to put this ground beef back in the fridge because I think that's part of my problem with making meatballs from these meal kits is that I take all of the ingredients out. Okay, that's from the other day. This is the fresh one. Okay. Sorry, we got a new one came in and I haven't separated everything. But hi. Tonight is going to be a nice mellow night. I'm going to go grab the recipe card though. I forgot that. For the sweet and tangy cherry meatballs. And I know it's Valentine's Day, so lots of people are doing things, and people that aren't doing things are like hanging out and stuff. I do and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Like we said, happy Valentine's Day to each other and things like that, but I'm not. Hi. I believe in sharing your love with somebody every single day of the week. So the fact that Valentine's Day exists is great. Hold on, I'm trying to get this way. Is great, but I don't like to, I don't make as big a deal out of Valentine's Day. It's something that previous partners a long time ago made a big deal out of, and I just don't, I feel like that was just not my cup of tea, because I feel like you should be letting somebody know that you love them and you're there for them and that they are deserving of your affection and like things that make them think of you instead of, commercializedness. But I don't hate Valentine's Day. I know people out there that do. I'm not a big celebrator of it, though I love everyone in my life. And I have reached out to some people and said, happy Valentine's Day to the people that really matter. But I didn't go full tilt, flowers and all that jazz. No, I show them every day that I love them. And I find that to be a little more successful in keeping those relationships going. I don't know if you've ever joined me before. If you haven't, hi, I'm Megan or Muffin. I am the host of the Upbeat Duck channel. I am an upbeat duck. I like to stay as positive as possible. Yes, life gets me down sometimes, but I am here. And today I am making the final meal from last week's Every Plate meal kit. We did just get in today. It was slated for delivery. It's slated for delivery today/tomorrow. And I usually get it on Fridays for my Every Plate meal kit. And then I also got in on Tuesday, so that means I'm going to make something probably either later tonight or tomorrow morning. I got in some things that are from our local basket called Local Basket. It's based here in New Hampshire, and it uses as much local and locally sourced products as possible. Give me 2 seconds. My dog wants his dinner. I'll be right back, guys. Yes, the every plate is a meal kit here in the United States, um, and right now I'm getting five different meals from them every week, and then there's one local here in New Hampshire of the United States that I get called Local Basket, that is 2 locally sourced, decently sustainable kits, which is really awesome. That I get 2 meals from, and the protein quality is amazing. But tonight we're making sweet and tangy cherry meatballs with roasted zucchini and garlic mashed potatoes. So I'm excited about all of that. I have the meat in the refrigerator because every time I've made meatballs with one of these kits, it has not gone great because I don't know if the meat's not firm enough, etc. So I may have to step away in a little bit to go walk my dog, but right now he's eating ice cubes because that's the only human food he gets, and he thinks it's the best thing in the world. So let me get started. I need to get myself, oh, what did I already get on my shirt? It's been 2 seconds. Oh, this towel's wet. Why is that towel wet? Let me get a towel so I can rinse all my vegetables, because that is the first step, is to rinse all my vegetables. I'm trying out a few different meal subscription boxes. It sounds really good, and it comes with this little tiny, like a little baby thing of jam. Just a little tiny, like, thing of jam, which I love. I actually bought, I should open it and actually use it. I bought an advent calendar that is all little tiny jellies like this. And each day is a different flavor, and some of them were only for the holidays. So it's a nice little surprise. I bought one for one of my aunts. She makes her own elderberry jam, and it's always so good, but you never know how many things you're gonna get, like how many containers of jam you'll have, just because you never know what the crop is gonna be like every year for elderberries. And I don't know if anybody on stream right now knows this. Elderberries are poisonous to humans unless they've been cooked. So, isn't it super cute? I think it's this, I can't remember if it's this brand or a different one, but I think it's this brand, and it's an entire advent calendar. Actually, I have one right here. I haven't opened it, but it's in my kitchen. So I bought one for myself, and I didn't use it during Christmas because, oh, that's not what I thought it was. That's not my advent calendar. Where is my advent calendar? This is a part to something completely different. Weird. Huh. I don't know where it is now. I'm very sad. I'm going to have to find it. But I never use it during Christmas, and I don't know why. It's not that difficult to, make it so that you can do that during the holidays. But life just got away from me, and then I didn't want to have too many days at once. Yeah, elderberries are poisonous. They have to be cooked in order to, so they use them in a lot of different things. They're actually very good for, like if you have a cold, which I actually have a local, hold on. See, I got all this cool stuff here. I have, where is it now? Oh, where is my elderberry extract? I have this really amazing stuff that I should be using because I have a cold. And I like, so if anybody has any home remedies for this cold, would be also greatly appreciated. Maybe I put it down here. That'd be weird. Man, I can't find anything in my own kitchen. I need to reorganize. I'm very sad. I have like all this good stuff, but I have this elderberry syrup that, because it's very good for colds and infections. So I have it, and I should be taking it. because I have a cold, and it didn't get better today when I woke up. It got worse. Okay, so this recipe, I actually have to like contact every plate and make sure that this is okay and all that. But I post the recipes on here, so if you're at the beginning of the stream or go back and rewatch, and then at the end of the stream I'll put up the recipe as well. So take a little quick clip of it if you aren't from the United States and aren't able to get it. I do have to ask them if it's okay to be sharing it that way, which I think is fine, because it's not like it's a necessarily exclusive to them for some of these recipes, I don't think. Like some of them aren't, are pretty common recipes. And don't forget, if you're watching me right now, if you don't mind following me, I'd greatly appreciate it. You don't have to subscribe. I'm not asking for that. But if you could follow me, just so you get little pings. I try to be on around the same time every day, but it doesn't happen all the time. It does say I'm on at 7 every day, Eastern time here in the United States. Doesn't always work out. Yesterday, I ended up on at 9 o'clock, I think. The day before that was fine, though. Well, obviously, yes, that's true. It should be an adventure. It always is when I cook. I have just started learning cooking at age 35. I'm 36 now. So this recipe came with, these are the things they provided for me, and then there's a couple things that I have to have for my own kitchen. But they gave me little potatoes. They call them Yukon Golds. Any little potato with a fairly thin skin would work. A zucchini. You might be able to do some other squash, but zucchini is what they have. They gave me a piece of American bread, which, is that what they call white bread in other parts of the world? I've been wondering this all week, and if somebody that is on from somewhere else can let me know. The ground beef I have in there. They gave me garlic powder, the little bitty cherry jam, a little packet of soy sauce, and some sour cream. And then they gave me, there is no Parmesan in this. Why do I have an extra thing of Parmesan? I should not have a thing of Parmesan. Well, that's going back in the refrigerator, because not for this recipe. Don't know where it came from. Probably was supposed to use it in something else. And then I need ketchup, butter, and vegetable oil. I use olive oil generally. I don't care for vegetable oil. So I was cooking minimally. I had my confidence really kind of shattered at some point in my life regarding cooking, and I learned how to cook some things as a child and a teenager, and then after that, there was some confidence crushing things that happened, and then there were some things that, I lived a very busy life, so there was a lot of fast food, a lot of eating out, a lot of pre-made frozen meals, a lot of really simple things like tuna fish and peanut butter and crackers and things like that. So it wasn't a very healthy lifestyle for a very long time. I have been eating significantly better in the last 10 years, but I haven't really cooked myself in that time. I tried a couple times, and then finally I had to just tell, I was trying to learn with my wife in the kitchen. She's not allowed in the kitchen anymore. I can't cook with her unless I have a little technical question. So sometimes I have to ask her some things, but for the most part, directions are awesome, and she believes, as lots of people, that cooking is a art, not a science. So I can bake. I love baking because it has instructions and I can follow it, and it's great. I can't just wing it. Now that I know. Yeah, I thought that's what you would call it too, so I don't know why they call it American bread. Maybe, I have no idea. It came in this package, and I was very confused. Like, it's come in a couple packages, and I'm like, it's white bread everywhere, right? And I didn't know if it was, yeah, American bread. No idea. It is traditional formula, handcrafted, so hearth-baked, sliced. So sliced white bread. But let's get started on cutting some stuff up. So I'm going to preheat my oven to 450. I already washed and dried all my produce because I've learned that that's the first ingredient. I'm going to get a pot out for my potatoes, which I don't really need a big pot for that, because we're just going to cover them just a little bit over with water, and there's not a ton. There's 5 potatoes, like little bitty potatoes. If I was making more, I'd choose a much bigger pot. But yeah, 1 slice of white bread, I know. That's the only disadvantage of these meal kits, is that sometimes they send things that don't make sense. I could just go and buy a loaf and not have to worry about this. I know it's for the convenience factor. There's actually the local one. I have to write to her and be like, okay, I understand that you want to give me all these things, and they come in like either compostable or recyclable or reusable packaging for the one that's local. They send me things that I have in my kitchen all the time, and I know not everybody does, but I feel like the person that is purchasing the local one, because it is substantially more expensive, I get 2 meals for the same price that I get 5 meals from every plate. So this subscription that I'm making now, I get 5 meals for the cost of 2 meals. Actually, they only let you buy 5 meals, so I probably get a little bit more than 5 meals for the cost of 2 meals, because I usually upgrade our proteins if they have that option. So there's certain proteins that are more expensive, especially during certain times of the year. And I have soy sauce in my cabinet all the time. I always have garlic powder. I don't actually need those. Sour cream, sometimes I have, sometimes I don't. This jam, I never would have cherry preserves in my refrigerator. I don't eat a lot of jam. I just eat my toast, if I have toast with butter on it. Okay, let's do the potatoes first, because it looks like that's going to be the first thing to go in, and I have to cook that on the stove for like 15 minutes, depending. So let me get a knife. Oh, not that knife, not that knife. Yeah, I guess that knife. It says to dice them into 1/2-inch pieces. I think I can handle that. I always cut them in half first. Make my life a little easier. Sorry if I cough a little bit, guys, tonight. I am still not great. I mean, I'm not horrible. We are making mashed potatoes out of these, so I'm going to cut them smaller than a smaller dice so that they cook a little bit faster and I can eat a little bit sooner. But let me pop you guys. You don't really need to see me dicing potatoes. I was going to switch you over to the dicing and everything cam. I have 4 cameras in my kitchen. I have one over my stove, so you can see at different points in a recipe what things should look like, or at least if there's something that I'm learning to cook, it may not be exactly how it's supposed to be, but at least we are learning together. And I do try to stream 7 nights a week. There was one day this past week that I was unable to stream. I had my nephew, and then we had some friends over, and it just was impossible to do the streaming and deal with him at the same time, because we were going to make a lunch thing, but because we were going to do like a pre-prep for friends that were coming over to hang out with us. But I didn't get permission from either of my nephew's parents to have him online with me. So anything that we were going to do, I wasn't going to be able to do anyway on stream. And if I'm doing something crazy and elaborate, I want you guys to be able to see it. I don't want to keep that to myself. That just seems foolish. So okay, so these potatoes, I might have to actually pour some of that water off the top because I think I filled this too tall. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just enough. Just enough. Yes. So my wife used to do a lot of photo video. She worked at her local access cable TV station. She worked at a couple different places. She worked for photo video when she was in the armed services here in the United States for 10 years. So she did all kinds of camera work and all kinds of like editing and everything. And she was streaming Pinball and she was streaming Grand Theft Auto as her hobbies. Well, and there's too much water in this. Let me just, nope, no, it's not enough water. You know what? 2 inches is subjective, right? At different points, I'll try to remember to switch the cameras around. There's nothing crazy interesting going on tonight, but I do like to show the finished product. But I took all her cameras from her Pinball and her Grand Theft Auto. So right now they're in the kitchen because she streams, but she is really into the role play right now on Grand Theft Auto, so she's been doing that mostly. Most people only have one camera. There's a person that I host on my channel called Cooking Without Looking, which was on right before here. And she's amazing. I love her. And she only has one camera. I mean, she is legally blind. So you only need one camera, I guess. Like, she has somebody figure out, like, if it's in a good angle. You don't really need to go beyond that and worry about cords and everything else in the middle of your kitchen. No, thank you. We're gonna run wires through the ceiling or something because right now we'll do a tour of my kitchen before we move them. There are 2 tripods, something hanging above me, and wires strewn around part of my kitchen. So the potatoes are now in there. I'm gonna turn the water on so they boil, and then they'll cook for about 12 to 15 minutes until they're tender. They'll probably be on the lower side of that, so probably 12 minutes, but we'll take one out and test it. And then, I do. So I have this cute little mic, is a mic pack that I have, as well as we have a backup mic going in the camera that's right above me, because for some reason, I think it was the batteries we're using. I also was forgetting to turn things off. The mic pack wasn't staying on all the time, or if like I muted it, it would stop. So we had to add the second one because I don't know if you can even see some of my older videos. You may be able to on my YouTube. My YouTube, Upbeat Duck on YouTube, has some of my older streams where you can see all the mistakes we made when I first started streaming like 2 weeks ago. Ooh, we're cutting these in 1/2-inch moons. So we're cutting it lengthwise. So, hold on, let me show you one of those cool. That's the island one. All my junk on the counter. Woo! What? Don't do that. So I cut it lengthwise, so now it's like that. Now we're going to cut it into 1/2 moons, about 1/2 inch. I don't really know my widths and things, and I'm envious of my sister. She has a knife that has a little tiny thing on the side of her knife that tells her how thick something is, and I'm like, I need one of those knives. I need to add that to my wish list. That should be on my wish list. So I'm not a huge fan of zucchini, but if you add enough seasoning to it, and fry it, basically. That's kind of what we're doing tonight. We're baking them, but you put them doused in olive oil, or they use vegetable oil. I just prefer olive oil. You could probably use any oil. I've heard grapeseed oil is like the best for retaining flavors of other foods. And thank you, by the way, for joining me. I like cooking with others. This has actually boosted my confidence quite a bit, is me doing these meal kits. And then to keep motivated, we figured out that I also have on my YouTube is something else. The United States is just a little backwards in that regard. The only time, like, the average person in the United States doesn't necessarily need to know the metric system, but it comes in handy if you're trying to cook from, sorry, I forgot where my camera setup was. If you're trying to cook from European cookbooks, it comes in handy. A lot of bakers actually use weights anyway. So I actually bought it for postage usage, but I bought myself a really nice baking scale that I can start using, and I guess I'll start using it for baking if I get to do this. I did say on my Instagram and on my Twitter feed, which is muffin_lives, that's where I ping that I'll be on in like the next 5-10 minutes. I did write that if this goes sideways, like this meal doesn't work out, that I am going to make pizza, because I made pizza sauce the other day when I was on stream, and I haven't used it yet, but I bought some pizza dough that was ready-made pizza dough in the freezer section at my supermarket, because they had just redone a whole bunch of aisles and they were no longer be carrying this product. And I was like, why not? I'll try this. So I defrosted it and it's been sitting there, and I really need to use it before I can't use it anymore. But I'm like one day behind in everything because of Saturday, and it's really cutting into everything. So this is a part of the recipe that I always forget, is that you need to have so many things. And I'm going to have to reorganize my entire kitchen, by the way, because none of the things that I use on a regular basis for cooking is anywhere close to it. So I have to get them ready ahead of time. And I think it was last night, it was a very disorganized stream. I was all over my kitchen. I'm just reading the instructions. So let me pop you up here so you can see me again. So I'm just reading all these instructions to find out what steps I should do first, because I don't read them before I come on, because I want you to have the same experience that you would have if you were getting this for the first time, if you were trying out this recipe for the first time. So I placed the potatoes already. Those are good. This is the part I always forget. Reserve a half cup of potato cooking liquid, then drain and return potatoes to the pot. I always forget to save that. I was supposed to save pasta water in 2 recipes this past week. I did not save pasta water in either recipe. It was very sad. So while the potatoes cook, it says to make the sauce that's going to go onto the meatballs. So in a small bowl, I can handle that. Small bowl. My cute little small bowls. I now have this giant thing of zucchini in front of me, which I don't need for a little bit. In a small bowl, we're going to combine the jam. That's a really big bowl all of a sudden. Soy sauce. And a little bit of ketchup, salt, and pepper. So, what? They want me... I'm very confused. Why am I... Oh, you use about half of it now to coat the meatballs in, and then you take half of it later. And also, this is a really big bowl for this amount of stuff. And I don't know if I have anything small. Oh, I do have something smaller. Good, because that bowl was kind of ridiculous. I have my little tiny bowl. And I need to get my little tiny spatula. I actually put on my wish list an even tinier spatula. And now I can't get my drawer open. What? Who put something in here that's not supposed to be in here? That can be the only reason why this drawer will not open. So that's not an itty-bitty spatula. Where's my itty-bitty spatula? There we go. I'm hoping that I can handle this. So the recipe that I'm trying for baking is going to be amazing. It is, soon I'm getting people from a different part of the United States to send me, this is going to get so expensive to send it to me, but they're going to send me flour because there is a specific type of flour that is used in making biscuits from the southern part of the United States. And that explains why I cannot get them the way that I want them in any place where near me. The flour is actually not sold anywhere except like a few key states. I don't know why. They just decided this should be a thing. And it's very disappointing. Oop, there goes the little pop top on that. Oh, what else goes in this? Ketchup? Is that really it? 3 tablespoons. I can't tell you how much that is, just so you know. So a little bit of soy sauce, which I don't know why. This is very interesting. It's like Italian meets Asian. I'm actually going to be getting something that will help me measure smaller measurements of these, like, not a liquid, not a solid. It is. Apparently it uses, what do they call it? Soft wheats. It has less, what is it? There's less of some kind of protein in it. So I think it might be gluten. That it makes them soft and fluffy and like flaky, where a harder flour, like up here in New England, we use bread flour. Like, we only have one kind of flour. There is no other flour. I guess there's even more flours than I knew of, because I know there's different, like, potato flour and tapioca flour and all of that. I had no idea at all that there was, like, different kinds of wheat flour. No idea at all. And who keeps moving all my stuff? That's a teaspoon. I don't want a teaspoon. I want a tablespoon. But yes, I'm getting friends from Florida if they have it. But I know a friend in Tennessee in the United States that can get it for me, because that's where this particular company is based, is in Tennessee. So it's on like every grocery store shelf there, where here I'd have to order it through like a service and pay way more money for it. I guess a package is like only like $2-3, and online I'm going to spend almost $12, partially because of shipping. I hope that was 3. Did I count 3? Or was that only 2? Anybody counting for me? Because I didn't count. Ooh, my oven's ready. I'm going to put that, God, I don't want to put that there, but. And then we're going to try to get all of the jam, as much as humanly possible, out of this container. Oh, there we go. Oh, these jars are so cute, but I don't know what to do with them. I know my mother-in-law wants to have them. I also get these cute little honey jars. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everything there. Oops, salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. Oh, come on, salt. Why? Yeah, well, that was part of the problem, is that it was going to cost a ridiculous amount of money, mostly for the shipping, because you can't get it close enough to where I live. So I figured that I will go to, when I'm visiting down there, I'm going to go to some grocery stores, and if I drove, I'm just going to take it with me. You looked at how many types of flour. Yeah, I mean, I know there's different types, but I'm going to taste this glaze in just a second. I hope I put in enough. It's different. I hope that was 3, because that's a lot of ketchup. I can taste it. I don't know if I wanted to taste ketchup is what? Vinegar and tomatoes, and that's pretty much it. There's like some other stuff they put in there, like salt and pepper and some things like that. So I'm going to set that aside, because we're going to use about half of it first, and then we'll use half of it after. So we did that. We're waiting on these. I didn't set a timer like I should have. So let me do that now for like half the time that we're supposed to have these in for. So another 6 minutes, and then I'll check them, and they should be done. 6 minutes. That's fine. It's not your responsibility to be cooking. It's mine. Okay, now comes the part I always have problems with. Let me get a baking sheet first. Okay, baking sheet, check. Okay, now is where I'm going to make the meatballs. So we're going to get a bowl, check. We're going to take the bread, check. Okay. I'm going to break it apart a little bit, because this bowl isn't as flat as you usually use. I usually use like more of like a, I don't even know what to call it. It's an awkward bowl. 2 tablespoons of water. So I feel like I've been using too much water in these recipes for the, just for the meatballs. For some reason, they just don't come out right. 1, 2, 3, sorry, I'm counting. 4, 5, 6. So that's equivalent to what I needed. I feel like that's too much, though. It's been like, it says to break up with your hands until pasty. So I'll show you what this looks like. Not that you can see it, because I'm not using a big enough bowl. So I know this is what it's supposed to feel like when it feels pasty. So let me zoom in on this one real quick. Oop, that's not the right one. Ha! There we go. So this is what it's supposed to look like. Ooh, no. Ah! So there's what it's supposed to look like. It's like a little smooshy. Sorry, having 4 cameras can sometimes be obnoxious. And then we're going to do the ground beef. Having these meal kits has made my life a lot easier. Partly because I'm still learning to cook. I'm doing a lot better in a year, obviously. Like, I could follow directions and not be like, what do you mean? And then I have bipolar 2 and post-traumatic stress disorder, so sometimes getting motivated can be a little tough. I am also doing much better in that regard. 3 years ago, it was just impossible for me to do more than leave my bed. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to have more luck now that the meat is, I left it in the refrigerator instead of letting it sit on the counter. That's going to make a big difference. So the meat's in there. The garlic powder goes in there. Is it all the garlic? Oh, only half the garlic powder. Well, so half a teaspoon according to this package. And I'm glad that if you're watching me that you have American measurements, because this would be kind of tragic without measuring cups and measuring spoons, because that's all that this recipe is giving me. I feel like that's half. What is the other half getting used for? Oh, for the mashed potatoes. We're having garlic mashed potatoes. Okay. So we're going to scoosh that around. Oh, I need a half teaspoon of kosher salt. I forgot about that. That's in here. Oh, and now my hands are like covered in gross, so getting this is amusing. I am doing a lot better now. A lot of things happened in my life, as well as, some of that is partially just something in your brain doesn't quite compute life well. A lot of things happened in my life around that time, about almost 4 years ago. And my brain just didn't know how to handle it, and that's been nice. Oh, that's true. That's true. That one, you can find the conversion for what is it, milliliters? Or now I'm trying to, I can't concentrate on that right now. What else? What is this? This is supposed to be half a teaspoon. Okay. So, that looks good there. Awesome. Yeah, a stick of butter. Yeah. Stick of butter is, you only know, people don't really think about the world being a global entity yet. And I don't know why that is, because globalization's been happening forever. I was a history major for a while, and just seeing the past of every single country and what we've done is globalization's always been a thing. So I don't understand why we can't get it together that we all use the same methods to do things. Oh, there's my timer. Stop. Let me wash my hands of all this beef juice. Ugh. Oh, this water is so cold. Why are you so cold? It's very chilly here right now. I don't even know what the temperature is right now, to tell you the truth, outside. I went outside because I have to walk my dog, and that was not a fun task at all. That's not something I like. Okay, I'm going to check the potatoes and check to see they're done. If they're done, then I get to strain them, but not before I save the water. I'm going to save the water today. That is my goal. I'm going to get the container I need to do that right now, so I will not forget. I'm still going to forget. It's fine. So the meat's done. Oh, everything has pepper in it. So I'm going to chuck these first, and then we're going to put everything on the tray to get things accomplished. Sorry, guys. I have a pug. He's so cute. You'll find him every once in a while. When it gets close to the end of me cooking, he gets really excited because he thinks he's going to get food, and he never does, because we don't feed him food from the table or from the kitchen. But every once in a while, he'll get lucky, like bacon grease will be on the floor or something like that. And he'll be like, oh, look, you missed a spot. But he's a good boy. His name's Indy. I'm going to take one of these out and see if they're ready to be mashed. Oh, yeah, they're ready to be mashed. So let me turn that off. I have a masher around here somewhere. Where did I put it? I don't have very many things that are usable for one thing, but sometimes you just need a tool that's used for that. We won't forget the water, that's right. Yes, his name's Indy. I spell it Indie. I think he's adorable. He is by my side almost all the time. We're not forgetting the water, though I don't really need potatoes in my water. So how many? Yeah, that's plenty. Let me get a drink of mine. He is adorable. I love him. We actually get compliments on him all the time because he's 6 years old now, and he is not a chunky pug. Like, lots of pugs have a little bit of extra weight at, like, a very quick age, and he's sometimes on the little chunkier side, but most of the time he's at, like, the perfect weight where he doesn't look like he has any extra pounds, and you can still feel his ribs and all that, where other ones I've seen, you can't do that. The poor little dogs. Oh, my ketchup flew into my sink. That's annoying. Where is are all my strainers being used? I have 3 strainers. How can I? Fine, I'll use the big one. I didn't want to use the big one. Apparently I have to do dishes. I had a lot of errands to run the past couple days, so, like, it's been a task to keep the kitchen clean. Okay, pour this in. Then we're going to return it to the pot. All that steam. Okay, we're returning it to the pot. Check. Check. Okay. And then we're going to put, let's see, what does it say? Don't care about that. Oh, okay. Well, let me put the stuff in the oven first, I guess. So, there's a lot of zucchini, by the way. Let me move over to the stove. So, here's my pan, which has totally last night's meal on it still. Please hold. What's going on? I thought I had fixed you. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to... Well, okay, we'll fix it this way. We're going to fix it live, people. We're going to deactivate it, and then we're going to activate it. And you should see a whole new screen. Look at that. Now you see what I'm actually cooking tonight. So I'm going to turn this sideways so I can do this better. But there's a lot of, this is a large zucchini. I did not expect that much zucchini to come with this meal, but it did. We're going to put some olive oil on them and some salt and pepper. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was totally the pan from last night. Last night we had, what did we have last night? We had, no, I can't remember the name of it. We had a Italian pork sausage gnocchi bake, and it was really good. I enjoy gnocchi quite a bit. It's one of my favorite pastas. So that's a lot more zucchini than I was expecting. So we're going to put a little more oil than I usually put on what they give me, because it's usually only part of it. But yeah, it was delicious last night. And I wish they had given me just a little bit more to eat, because a lot of these meals are for 2 people. But my wife and I are not small people. So it gets a little weird when they're like, oh yeah, totally, this is enough for both of you. And I'm like, we really need a meal for like 2.5 to 3 people. Like 2.5 would probably be perfect. 3 would be good. And then we might have leftovers. And we don't, like, it's not enough. Like, don't want to go up to a 4-person meal because that's the next option. You can get a 2 or a 4-person meal. We don't want to go up that high. These are all supposed to be laid out. And they're supposed to be next to the meatballs, but the meatballs are going to be on their own tray because there are too many of these to put on both things on one tray. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't know how I would even accomplish that right now. So that's good there. I probably should have checked to see what things I should put them on. So I think it's supposed to be on the... It just says roast. Ugh. Oh, make the meatball pan first. Let me get another pan. I was gonna do I usually do the meals on a smaller pan. So like the half sheet of these, that wouldn't have worked out. I mean, I'd usually only do one thing there. Okay, let's get some, I got this is the sauce, and I got this, and there's my bowl, and I'm gonna make balls that size balls I would eat. So, I don't know, it fits in the palm of my hand. I can't really, they say 1.5-inch meatballs. I don't know what that means. Give me a better, the size of a golf ball, ping pong ball, a soccer ball. I mean, it wouldn't be that big. But give me a better, life example of what I should be rolling these as than 1.5 inches. That's just ridiculous. You can't give me that as an option. Last night was really good. Probably tomorrow for lunch, I have a couple meals. I have a hair appointment. I'm just getting my hair cut. I'm not gonna get it colored tomorrow, even though it's been a while, just because I'm not really positive. I was gonna go with a pink and a teal color. But I don't know if that's actually what I want anymore. I think it still is, but I want to make sure before I commit to a color because my color stays in my hair really long, even though it's a semi-permanent. Oh, hi, Mom. I know, soccer-sized meatballs, right? Wouldn't that be good? I mean, there is a record somewhere. Guinness Book of World Records has something, I'm sure, that says what the biggest meatball ever made was. I feel like there's not, I wish there was I don't know, there's so much zucchini. I wish there was more meat for meatballs. I guess this would be 2 meatballs here. So, I mean, there's 5 for each. That's not bad. And I think, first off, I'm using beef, which I think is helping my meatball situation. And the other thing is I left it in the refrigerator until I absolutely needed the meat. And I think that's making a big difference tonight. I often take it out and leave it out. Happy Valentine's Day. Let me just wash my hands before I put the... I think this meal is gonna turn out well. I mean, I might have cold mashed potatoes because the potatoes were done quicker because I cut them smaller, but it is what it is. Now we're going to put these, okay, these have to go in for about 15 minutes. So let me put those in there. Let me do my close-up cam so you can see me actually putting them in the oven. And I actually have to, I think, move a couple. Yeah, I have to move that. That's not going to work out all the way at the top. So we'll do the meatballs on, oh, I forgot to do the glaze. Well, we're going to put these down the bottom, and then I have to glaze these a little bit. I actually do have something for that. I don't like using it, though. I feel like I have a silicone glazing tool, and it's not my favorite. I feel like the ones made of like actual bristles, I don't know what they are, but they're what I grew up on. I feel like they do a better job than this silicone nonsense. But I'm supposed to like put this all over. Oh, am I supposed to do it all over it or just on the tops? That's a good question. Brush or spoon meatballs with half the cherry glaze. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to do the tops of them because otherwise I think it would burn to the pan. I am using parchment paper, which I have to get up the info for the parchment paper I use. So for anybody in the United States, I believe it is actually imported because a friend of ours has a couple different businesses and she sells supplies for a lot of different hobbies, one of them being baking, and I use the parchment paper because I just find it easier than cleaning my pans. I do not like to clean pans. Oh my gosh. 17. Oh my, hold on. We're going to have to do some math in a minute. Figure out how much that would be in kilograms. It's something ridiculous, I'll tell you that. That's an absurd. Oh, wait, for a meatball. It's like the size of a car. I feel like this sauce is a little too much ketchup-y. I hope that cherry really comes through because I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't. Ooh, there's a company in the United States called Pampered Chef, and I'm going to have a party next month, which is going to be awesome. But it's only going to be online. And I don't think I'm going to do an in-person one because the person I'm going to have isn't in this state. So they have a pomegranate habanero sauce that they sell that is amazing. The pomegranates are great. It has just enough heat that you're like, oh, it has habaneros in it. It's not overwhelming, and I don't do heat. I avoid it at all costs. We own part of a restaurant, and the restaurant for a while was doing a lot of spicy things, and we're like, okay, I understand that the people that like spicy stuff are gonna love this, but the people like me who can't stand spicy stuff are gonna hate it. We're not going to eat it. We're not going to come back. Like, come on, guys. So we have a much more balanced menu, and that's been nice. So there are a couple of spicy things that add to the dish, but you can't eat them, like, by themselves. Like, for a while, we had a pineapple rum salsa. It was really good, but you had to have it on the tacos. If you didn't have it on the tacos and just like had it by itself or like dip stuff in, it was really spicy. A barrel of wine. Okay. Those are in now. We're going to set a timer on my phone, and then we're going to work on these mashed potatoes because I get to smash them. Timer is right there. What does it say? 14 to 16 minutes. Yeah. We'll do 14 and check them to see how they are. But for now, we're gonna make it. Oh, hey, look, I remembered to save the potato water. Mashed potatoes with sour cream, remaining garlic powder. Like, I always have garlic powder. They don't really need to send me that. I usually have sour cream as well, which I do at the moment. But that's not always the case. Salt and pepper. And then make it... Okay, well, I'm going to talk to you guys for a little bit, I guess, because I don't have anything else to do except make some... I do have to put some of my ingredients away. Like, I don't need kosher salt anymore. I'm just using table salt, like iodized salt. And we're going to put the garlic powder in. And we're going to put the sour cream in. Whoop. Come on. Ugh, these packets are so weird. They remind me of something. There was a frozen treat when I was in elementary school that was it lemonade flavored? It was some kind of, I think it was lemonade. It was like a frozen lemonade flavor. And they looked very much like that packet did. Sorry, I'm like, ow, what is this? My day was good. There's something in my slipper. Oh, there's a, really? I'm sorry, guys. I'm wearing my bear slippers tonight because I didn't want to. There was a piece of glitter in my shoe. There we go. Much better. I'm like, what is stabbing me? I did some errands, and now I'm trying to relax at home. And then later, I have a few things. I paid bills today. I mean, nothing dramatic in that regard. Sorry, I'm like, I forgot where I'm on that camera. Here we go. I really want to make pretzels, but I haven't found a recipe that I want to try yet. So once I find a recipe, I'll make that. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to bake or not tonight. I'm going to need to take a break for a little while, and then I might cut back on. So long, if I'm up for it, I'll come back on. We'll see. Let me actually mash these all together. It will help spread all the stuff. And then, what else? I don't know. I don't really have anything planned except that I want to try to organize my office. My office is a little disarray at the moment because there were holidays, and then I had the flu, which was great. Not. And then some other stuff happened, and all that. So the office kind of became like the place where everything goes. Before I can take care of it. So like there's bags from the holidays. Like my wrapping paper is still like out in the middle of the floor. My desk, I can't even find my desk right now. There are some things, I don't know if any of you watch Alton Brown. He's like so against unitaskers, but then he goes and uses some unitaskers, so that's on him. But this like masher is like one of the things you need. And I think I am going to add hold on, let me try a little bit. There's not, I wish it had used real garlic instead of garlic powder in these. That would have been appreciated. I am going to add a little bit of this water to it, but not a lot. I just want to do a little to make it a little creamier. But it does taste good, and it is a potato. I just think they could be a little more munchy. I have to go online tonight and place my Pampered Chef order for my friend's party because it closes on Sunday, but I want to make sure I get it in, and I can always add stuff to it, as well as I'm going to be hosting one next month, so I don't really need to, like, do anything. Oh, yeah, this is, like, perfect. And I'm just going to leave it here. Should I cover this? I feel like, I guess I'll cover it. Ugh, there's stuff everywhere. Come on, get off the masher. You don't need to be on the masher anymore. There we go. But yeah, tonight wasn't going to be a go out and do things night because my cold is, I'll do stuff and then I need to take a break right now because normally I have a problem anyway keeping my energy level up. So, and now my nose is getting stuffier again. Why? I'm cooking. Don't you know this? I'm cooking. Nope, that's not the right pan lid size. I feel like that's not the light. Where? Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah. That way that keeps warm. I'll keep that out. Let me just clean up my counter a little bit. Take a sip of my drink. My habaneros. Oh, this isn't habanero. It's cherries, jam, ketchup, and salt and pepper. That was it. That was all that's in there. Yeah, I know. This is a new shirt. I'm feeling it. I'm enjoying it. I have it in another color as well. I have it in this like really bright blue, and I just ordered a couple other shirts that hopefully will be in soon that I really enjoy. I'm just cleaning off counters and things while we wait for my timer to go off. I'm not making a dessert at the moment, otherwise I would have something else going on for you guys to be entertained by. Tomorrow, I'm thinking this will be a lunch thing. I will be making, I have a hair appointment, so a post-hair appointment. My hair appointment's not going to be that long. It's going to be chicken sausage with date sweetened Brussels sprouts and squash. It looks really good. It says it's a one-pan meal. When they say it's a one-pan meal, what they mean is that, yes, your meal will end up in one pan. You may, however, make 100 other dishes, which I'm not a fan of. I do not like having a lot of dishes. I like having like my cutting board and like a couple dishes and a couple utensils, and that's it. I don't want all this nonsense. But let's see where we're at. It doesn't look horrible. Ooh, they're like really good dates too. I have to actually pit the dates tomorrow. That's going to be fun. The other meals I have for this week coming up are, these should be the new ones. We'll probably have meatballs again tomorrow night, but they're by a different company, so they'll probably taste different. They'll probably come together differently. This one is kale and fresh herb meatballs over penne. That also looks really good. Then the other meals I have, I usually try to do my chickens and any fish that comes in first. So we might end up with a lot of chicken in a row. I hope not. Hold on, there's 3 chickens dishes that I got in. So I got five dishes in for this week. They are a chicken Tinga bowl with long green peppers, onion, and lime crema. So that looks good. Oh, hold on. I keep forgetting where I am on this screen. I got French onion chicken breast with roasted carrots and mashed potatoes. That also looks good. An apricot Dijon chicken legs with roasted carrots and lemon garlic couscous. I do like a good couscous. I got creamy mushroom steak with roasted potato rounds and green beans. This week had a lot of wedges, so I'm glad that we're mixing it up. And then the last one is a beef banh mi bowl with sriracha mayo, carrot, and pickled cucumber. Next week for my local basket, I think I just picked them out. What did I pick? I picked something. They have a Korean kimchi burger that is really good that I picked out. And then they have one other dish that I can't remember off the top of my head. And I don't have my computer in here. I only have the other computer. Actually, Jillian had an idea. So if anybody wanted to cook along with me, they could. So I will go get my laptop and look something up real quick. Because not this week, because that wouldn't work, but selections for next week have to be picked by Monday, so the following week. So they have until the 17th to make selections. I need to figure out exactly what I want to have. So let me go grab my laptop and we can go through those choices together and see which ones are worth it. There was like 3 spicy options next week, so give me 2 seconds. Oh, you're so cute, Indy. He's laying on my couch with some of his toys on his bed because I picked his bed up because we have a room but don't clean the floor to help me have more energy to do other things. We do some little cheats around to get it so that I can function more on a social level by having, I was having somebody come and help me clean, my bathrooms and the kitchen and keep up to the laundry. I finally put in a load of laundry today and it's been a little bit, and I mean none of it's folded, that I had done recently. And then but the little things have really helped. I have the Roomba, so that goes around the living room and the hallways and everything else and picks up everything. So much glitter. It wasn't glitter. It was sequins. I had arts and crafts time with my nephew this past weekend, and I thought sequins would be better than glitter. They're not, as we showed earlier. I had a sequin in my shoe, and it was the shape of a star and was stabbing me every 2 seconds. So let's see what I have for meal choices. So if you're in New Hampshire and you wanted to cook along with me, it would be the local basket next week. If you're not in New Hampshire, well, we will do the other one. And then the person that's watching me from across the world, I'm so happy you're here. There isn't a meal kit you can get from me. I don't know if it's a thing over where you are. I don't know if it's an American thing or not, or what have you. I haven't got that far in my research. Let's see what we got. So my recipes for the local basket for this week. Oh, they finally fixed, there was an error in the system that was causing something to glitch, and they had to actually call everybody to place their orders. It was not a fun time this week. Excuse me. Ooh, let's check on them. The timer just went off. But next week's delivery, I'll read off the choices in a second for that one. Oh, where did it go? I need my pot holder. Oh, there's one. It's not the one I wanted. Let me pop over to the stove so you can see them coming out. Oh, yeah. Those are probably done there. Oh, yeah. Those look good. And there's these. Oh, those look so good. Some are a little crispier than others, which is totally fine with me. Let me make sure that these meatballs are done, actually. And my light, I feel like it was brighter the other day. Oh, I know why. That's part of it, is I don't have this light on. There was another light in my kitchen that wasn't on. Go figure. But let me just look in here. Oh yeah, those are done. So I'll bring them up to the camera so you guys can see them. So it says till they're browned and tender. These are definitely browned and tendered. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then these are the meatballs, and they look so good. Some of the, it's all like caramelized into them for that cherry glaze that we made earlier. Let's see. I'm going to start putting it on a plate. And then we're going to drizzle, on the other plate, we're going to drizzle. Nope. Sorry. I'm still fixing things. We'll do a big plate today. So, but yes, next week I have a few different options. So currently I have a Mongolian beef dish that I have picked, and I have a bacon kimchi burger with Asian potato wedges. One of the other options was chicken piccata, but we make that on a regular basis in this house. We didn't really need to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna scoop some of these up. We're gonna scoop some of these up. I hope she wants zucchini tonight, because there's a lot of it. Moving stuff over. There we go. I should have both plates over here. Make my life easier. Not harder. Smarter, not harder. That's the phrase that I used with my employees when I was a manager. It's a phrase I have used with many people. Smarter, not harder. Don't torture yourself. Okay, now we're gonna put some mashed potatoes on these plates. I'm also left-handed, so sorry if any of these angles are a little weird when I go to the left-hand side of the stove instead of the right-hand side of the stove. I don't mean for it to be weird. It's just easier for me to go to the left of the stove, which is further from the camera, unfortunately, but it's just awkward. Oh yeah, that's good potatoes. Like I said, I wish it was regular garlic instead of they used garlic powder. I wish I had just done that. I think it would have been a more successful and more flavorful. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay, maybe I could have used the smaller plate, but I didn't, and now we're reaping the consequences of that. I'm not going to dirty 2 plates. The glaze is really good. So let me pop over here now. Now that I'm not actually up in the things. The other things they had was scallion and coconut rice with pork, a slow cooker Indian spiced chickpea, creamy French garlic chicken with green beans and crusty dinner rolls, an unstuffed pepper casserole, a lentil mushroom bolognese, a Vietnamese-inspired turmeric fish bowl, and chicken tortilla soup, and a sirloin steak with curry sauce and carrot salad. So I'm not going to drizzle. I'm just going to brush some of this on. I'm not going to go crazy with that. And I will show you guys how this came out. It says drizzle, but it's not really a drizzly kind of sauce either. Let's see. Well, it didn't plate as nicely as I would have liked, but that's okay. And it did, I don't think it finished in time for our friend from across the world to see, which makes me sad. But here it is. Let me get a better picture so that it doesn't look like my plate has almost nothing on it, because I used the wrong size plate. There we go. So there's the meatballs. Hold on. There's the meatballs. And the zucchini and the mashed potatoes. It is the dinner bell that you see. Jillian's coming up for dinner. Why, with the camera, with the things and the angle? Give me my fork so I can taste it. I have a fork. Hold on, I have a fork. Okay, I'll have another fork. Or you want to hand me my fork I already have so we don't have to dirty another dish? Thank you. So, these look a lot better than any other meatball I've made in the past 2 weeks. I already did that. There is more glaze if you'd like them. I think if I had, say hi to your mom. Hello. If I had put more of the glaze on in the baking, I think it would have been even better. But it said use half and half. So technically there's a lot more that could go on these. And I enjoy them. They're better than the ones that fell apart the other day. Zucchini and garlic mash, and I was saying a minute ago that it would have been better if this garlic mash was actually with garlic. They used, in both the meatballs and in the mashed potatoes, they used garlic powder. And I think it would have been more flavorful if it had been actual garlic and we had like toasted it or something. But, love you. So, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you for everyone from literally across the globe watching me tonight. They came out very well. I'm very excited and happy about them. And I hope that you tune in again. I will have all my things updated for other things on my page later. But right now I have my Patreon is Upbeat Duck. I have a Twitter and an Instagram under muffin_lives. I have a YouTube under Upbeat Duck. And I think that's all of them at the moment. I have a couple other things, but those are for Patreon subscribers only. But thank you everyone for joining. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your support. And of course, if you're not already following me, please follow me. You don't have to subscribe, just follow. If you're on YouTube, you do have to subscribe. It's the same thing as following. I greatly appreciate it. That's the biggest way you guys can support me, that and following my other social media, if nothing else. And thank you so much, and have a good night. Mwah, mwah. Here's the recipe again for anybody that came in late, but I'm going to hop off so I can eat my food, and then I'll leave this up for a couple minutes, and then that will go away. Thank you guys.